Hi, I'm Christina from hairromance.com. I like to think of myself as your personal hair guinea pig, and I have been testing and I finally perfected a routine where I can wash my hair at night and do a wake up with great curls in the morning with just the minimal amount of refresh, and I'm so happy with how my curls have turned out this morning. So I have all of the routine here for you. This video is a little bit of a contradiction because I've actually made it so that it's quite a quick routine. It's the routine that's designed to save you time. I mean, I don't have time to get up and wash my hair in the morning if I've got an early morning meeting or I need to be out the door. My hair just won't dry and it won't get into the best shaped curls. I'll have to have So it's meant to make you get out of the morning faster, but this video is pretty long. So I'm going to talk you through a quick summary of the steps if you just want to know the steps. But if you want to see me do exactly what it is, keep watching, and I've got all of it planned out with clear steps, and so I've even everything along this routine. That's why it's a bit of a long video. But stick with me if you want to see the steps, and I've also answered a bunch of questions at the end of the video as well. But if you just want to know the steps of my routine, listen up. I've even just written this down so I make sure I have the steps really clear. This is the quick version. Okay, so step one, this is in the evening after you get home. You just want to wash your hair and rinse it really well. Step two, which I do in this video, is I do a hair mask. This is optional. I like to do it because it is a way that you can help your curl memory and twist it to kind of help strengthen your hair. But if you don't have time for that, you can skip the mask. Step three is my normal conditioner, but there is a step to this where I actually comb all my hair forward, and that's where I start the styling process in the shower, and I comb all my hair to the front and to the sides as I'm rinsing out my conditioner. Step four is to apply your normal curl products into soaking wet hair. I like to use a leave-in cream and my favorite curl smoothie. Step five in this routine is gel. Even if you don't normally use a gel, I find this is really key for this overnight routine. Before I apply it, I use a t-shirt to scrunch some of the moisture out of my hair, encourage those curl clumps, and then I smooth gel over them, particularly onto the ends to make sure they're not frizzing. Step six, I diffuse my hair, usually with my head upside down, concentrating on the roots first, and I get my hair to about 90% dry. And step seven, last one in the evening, is really easy. Let your hair finish air drying while you're around the house, and at night I use a silk pillowcase and I clip my hair up so that it's out of the way. Then in the morning when you wake up, I've kept this really simple. I keep my hair in the clips while I shower, and then once I'm dry and get out of the shower, I take my hair down. Step two, I grab a t-shirt and I scrunch out the crunch to get rid of the gel cast that's still on my hair. Step three is my favorite step. You just give it some time. Get dressed, have breakfast, have a coffee, whatever it is, and then you let your hair just actually let gravity work and let your hair settle. And then step four is just to refine your hair. You may not need any extra product. My hair's pretty thirsty. I like to use a leave-in conditioner just to smooth down any tiny bits of frizz around my roots and just reshape any curls, but it's pretty good to go at that point. So if you want to see all of those steps in practice and show you exactly how I do it, here we go. So I'm taking out my hair at the end of the day, and there is a tutorial for this crown braid up on my channel if you'd like to give it a try. And have a look at what my hair is looking like underneath here. Braids are a perfect style for me for like day 3-4 hair because it just keeps it up out of the way. It looks like I made an effort, but really my hair is a total mess underneath. So let's see how it's looking. And even funnier, if you saw my Instagram, I had half my hair wavy, half my hair curly. So this is my hair at the moment. Half was waved and half is still in my natural messy wave curls. So this is what we're dealing with. So I cannot wait to get into the shower and shampoo this. So when shampooing my hair, I use my fingertips to clean and really massage the scalp, and I'm only concentrating the shampoo really around the roots of my hair. I'll let it run through the ends of my hair, but don't really need to shampoo this part of my hair at all. And remember, when using a sulfate-free shampoo, if you want to get more foam in the product, you want to add water, not more product. Using water is what you need when using a sulfate-free product. If your arms get tired or you use a lot of dry shampoo, I highly recommend using a shampoo brush. This can really speed up the process. Too much direct pressure on your scalp can really stimulate the oil glands in your scalp around your hair follicles. So doing this can be too aggressive if you've got a very oily scalp. Instead, I recommend just using the palms of your hand to work the product around into your hair, and it allows you to really work that product in, but without creating too much pressure on your scalp. So after I've rinsed out all my shampoo, and make sure you really rinse it out properly, especially all here and all the underneath layers, you want to make sure you remove all the shampoo. I'm going to be using the Shea Moisture Hydrate and Repair Protein Power Treatment. So this is a great treatment if you've over moisturized your hair, or you color or heat style your hair like I do. And with all of these treatments, any tub based treatments, you want to work them into your hands and then apply them to your hair. And I kind of work from about ears down, really concentrating into the ends of my hair. And I've also squeezed a lot of water out of my hair, though it's still pretty wet, because you don't want all that expensive treatment to go running straight down the drain. You want it to soak into your hair. So you need to squeeze out some of that water so you can work that treatment into your hair. And it's around about this time that I'll start to detangle, and working from the bottom up. And I'll also lose a lot of hair. Let's see what's coming out. A fair bit already. So don't worry about this. Like I said, if it's been 4 days since you've washed your hair, and it's normal to lose on average 100 hairs a day, you should be losing 400 hairs in a shower, or roundabout, depending on how long your hair's been up, because that really makes a massive difference. With curly hair, the hairs don't fall out as easily as they do in straight hair, and they can tend to get stuck in our hair, so it's only when we wash that we'll notice a large amount of hair loss, and that's totally normal. And if you do have any concerns, of course, please go see your doctor, but you shouldn't worry too much. You can also finger detangle at this point, which I like to do just to make sure I'm working all of that product through. And if I get any of the treatment coming off on the comb, I just wipe that back into my hair. Now this treatment, it's really important when you're doing any protein treatment to read the label. This says to leave on for a max of 10 to 15 minutes. I'll probably leave this on for about 10 minutes, jump back in the shower, rinse it out, and I'll come back here to see you with conditioner next. Oh, I just popped back on because I wanted to talk about curl training. Curl training is something that I've seen a lot online. I haven't done a lot of it myself, but if you want to incorporate that into your hair routine, or if you've got sections of your hair that don't curl very well, this is the time to do it. When you apply your hair treatment, you can twist all the sections of your hair to kind of finger coil them and encourage your hair to curl, and let your treatment set into twists. By doing this, it allows your curls to kind of regain their curl memory, which is a way that if you've been straightening them or you haven't been wearing them curly, you can get them to go back into shape and remember what it is to curl. But just wanted to pop in and give you just a quick demo of what that's like. Now I'm going to go pop back out, and I'll see you soon. I just want to try and show you what frizz looks like in wet hair. I don't know if you can sort of see this section here, but these hairs aren't connecting in with the rest of my curls, and I know that they'll dry into frizz. I haven't applied conditioner yet, so that is probably why, but I want you to look out for that within your hair, so you'll be able to tell if it's frizzy while it's still there. Now this is the point in the shower where I'm normally with my head upside down, my hair soaking wet. I tend to comb to the sides a little bit down this way, and then the rest of my hair forward, so that I don't have a whole flat section at the end of my hair. And I tend to sort of comb it out a little bit. If you want to use your Denman brush or a different type of comb, this is about the stage you do it. But I wanted to give you a bit of a visual of what my hair looks like when I'm actually putting the conditioner in, and this is how I'll rinse my hair out under the shower before I apply my styling products. Okay, one more rinse in the shower and we are back. Okay, so I'm back. I look absolutely crazy, but bear with me, I'm going to show you exactly what I do. So pretend I'm in the shower, my hair is absolutely soaking wet. This is super key for applying product. I'm going to be using a leave-in conditioner first. Get that leave-in and I just sort of run it down, coating my hair and especially making sure that it's in the ends of my hair. And most of that frizz which was present before is now combined into these curl clumps as they're starting to form, which I like to see. Very happy about that. And also what's interesting is when you start applying the conditioner to your hair will stop dripping. The conditioner helps the moisture stay in your hair, and that's what's really key. So when you want to apply that conditioner, making sure you're getting it right into the ends of your hair. And I have put a mic on so that I can get that proper sound. So you can see that once I've applied that leave-in, a lot of the moisture is starting to stay in the hair. But when I scrunch up, you can see there's still a lot of water dripping out of my hair, because my hair is still soaking wet. And to this point, I'm going to apply my curl product, which is my favorite curl enhancing smoothie. And if you've got fine hair, you might like to mix this with a little bit of water. I use a fair amount, and I sort of smooth that down my hair, making sure that I'm coating all my hair in that curl product. Just going to add a tiny bit more. My hair just drinks this stuff up, it loves it. It is a kind of a heavier curl product. It's pretty heavy on the shea, so that if that is not something your hair likes, either mix it with a little bit of water or try a lighter. You could just probably maybe even go with the leave-in conditioner, but for me it's super key. It just makes my hair hold a curl in better shape. I love it. And then at this point is when I'm going to scrunch that last bit of the product that's still all in my hand up into my curls. And I like to style with my hair upside down because I definitely feel like it gets me more root volume and more defined curls around the front. If I do from the back, I usually get good curls at the back, but I mean, most of the time no one sees that, so it's not as important. And then once I've got that, I'm going to grab a t-shirt, which is how I like to dry my hair. Do not use a cotton towel. That is not going to give you a good result. It's going to create friction. Friction equals frizz. But I don't know if you'll be able to hear that sort of still like a nice amount of moisture in my hair. But I usually squeeze that out before I apply my gel, because I want my curls to be in pretty good shape, and then I use the gel to coat the outside. I'm using the LA Hold Styling Gel, and I rub this in my hand, and I'm going to smooth this down because you want to coat the outside of your curls, because the gel forms a cast over your curls. And then I will also, with lots of products still on my hands, scrunch them up a little bit. So I feel like that really coats the ends. The ends of my hair will always dry faster, and I don't want them to frizz out, so making sure that the cast is really strong around the ends of my hair is super key for that. Now, I can tell you at this stage, I'm feeling like my hair is a little bit frizzy, but that's because I'm not in the shower. This is like a really weird way to film this, but we're getting there. We are getting there. All right, stay with me. I'm going to wipe that last bit of product off my hands because there's enough in my hair. Hi. And I would go on to start to dry my hair. All right, I'm going to take more moisture out with my t-shirt. And I might even take a t-shirt just to tie my hair up. Okay, I'm just gonna get some clothes on and I'm gonna come back. Oh, hi, we're back. So most of the time I have had that t-shirt around my head, all my hair upside down, just holding it up here now so that I can actually chat to you before I just turn my hairdryer on. So a lot of this routine I tend to have my hair forward and my head upside down. There's a few tricks for drying your hair. I'm using my Dyson. Always use a diffuser. Whatever hairdryer you have, this Dyson one is the best one I've ever used. I'm absolutely in love with this. But yeah, whatever dryer you've got, you always need to use a diffuser. And the difference is that, I'll show you if I take this off. This will blow my hair all around. And the second I've got the diffuser, my hair doesn't move. The heat and the air is still flowing through my hair, but it takes that speed away so that it's not blowing my hair and creating frizz. So I'm going to try and speed this up for you so I don't have to watch too much. By the way, if you are still here watching this video at this point, thank you. This has been one of the weirdest videos to shoot, and I can't imagine what it's like watching back. So thank you for being here still. Let's dry, and I'm going to show you how to sleep with this hair so you'll still have good curls in the morning. All right, let's speed this up. Just a weird little thought that's come into my head. You can often rest this on a table or on your bed or something like that if that's more comfortable for you. Another tip is to lay with your head hanging over your bed and put your dryer on a chair. Something like that. It can be a lot more comfortable than trying to film it in my studio. I usually just sit on the floor, pop a podcast on, and my hair is dry before I know it. Now with this, I'm only drying to maybe like 90% dry. I don't want my hair to be completely dry. I'm just gonna let that 10% dry while I'm at home and let it sit overnight. But sorry, back to this fast. Okay, now my hair is probably like 60-70% dry, and it's around about this point that I take a second gel, a really strong gel, and I'm going to apply more. The reason I did this is because I want a really strong gel cast that's going to last me overnight. So I'm going to take the cast out in the morning. I want to sleep with the cast in so that I get the best shaped curls and the least amount of frizz tomorrow morning. So take this gel, and again I'm going to use a smoothing motion, actually going down the curls. Okay, and we're almost done, just the final round of drying, and then I'm going to just let it sit. I'll come back with a few more styling tips for bedtime, and then I'm going to be back in the morning with the final reveal. One of the things I never understood about gel, but it's one of my favorite things about gel now, is that it makes your hair quite stiff and crunchy, and it can be really, really weird feeling. So it can also make your hair still look like it's wet. So my hair is actually fairly dry, but it looks like it's wet. There isn't a lot of volume, and that's exactly what you want. You want to get to a result where your hair still feels kind of a little bit crispy. Your curls are pretty much dry. There's still a little bit of moisture in my hair, but I'm going to be watching TV, so I'm just going to let the rest of it air dry. And overnight, I'll put my hair up into a pineapple. I like to use an Invisibobble just to put my hair up, or I might even just clip it up. I'll see how it's sitting, and then I'm going to show you how I take it all out in the morning. Whew. This always seems like a lot of steps when I break it down, but really when you're actually doing it yourself, it's pretty simple. It doesn't need to be too complicated. You can really get this down to an easy routine. You can do it at the end of the day, which will mean you can wake up and go within 5 minutes in the morning, which is what we all really want. We all want more sleep, more time. So this is just a lot of prep work to make sure that you've got great curls for days afterwards. All right, I will see you in the morning and show you my pineapple and show you how we've gone. Good morning. This is exactly how I've woken up. This is what my curls are looking like this morning. I obviously have had a shower, I've done my makeup, I've got dressed, but I've left my hair exactly how I slept when I pulled my head off the pillow so that you'd see exactly what happens. Last night, I didn't get a chance to show you exactly how I clipped up my hair before bed, so I want to show you now. And I also have some great news because I found a replacement clip. If you followed here for a while, you know I rave on about this flat-bottomed hair clip, and then it was discontinued, but I have found some smaller ones. Scunci now do these clips, and what's their brand in? Oh, it's got a different name in the US. I will link it below. But basically, these clips are great. They're smaller, they still have the silicone liner, and I've got 3 in my hair at the moment, or 2 and a smaller one. And I find that they work really well if you've got layers, you've got shorter hair, or you want to like clip your front hair in a certain section and the back differently. This sort of thing can also work really well for exercise. So smaller clips are a really good solution for how to clip your hair up at night. Otherwise, I'll sometimes pineapple with an Invisibobble hair elastic. I find that works really well too. And I sleep on a silk pillowcase. So I don't have a lot of frizz, which is good from not rubbing my head and having a bazillion dreams. So I have so many dreams, but we're not going to go into that now. The way I clip my hair is I use two or more of these clips. And I want to work at clipping the top part of my hair first. So that was, and I used this little one last night because I needed an extra one as I was getting ready. And then sort of clip up the back of my hair as well. Probably the hardest bit in the morning is getting these out of your hair. I'm just going to, perfect. But the good thing is that they are quite non-slip, so they won't move as you're getting ready at night. Last night I didn't get a chance to show you exactly how I clip my hair, so I want to give you a little bit of a demo now and show you what I do. So when my hair's dry last night, get it to 90% with the diffuser, let it air dry at home. It still looks quite wet because of the gel. And then I will sort of scoop it up on top of my head. And that is why I'll sometimes clip here. And I'll usually do 2 clips just to kind of create like a pineapple shape, but it's a little bit more relaxed and a little bit more allowing the curls to stay in their shape. I'm not trying to move the curls, I'm more trying to pile them on top of my head. I always think for when you're sleeping, any hairstyle that's more on top of your head is easier to maintain than one that's can fall down, and that's why the clips work really well. They will stay in place and keep your hair there. And using the smaller ones allows you just to clip a few sections. They won't leave dents in your hair, and that works really, really well. Now, if you've got shorter hair or you're worried about layers at the front, that's when I would sort of grab these sections here and clip them up. That will also give you a lot more volume in the morning by actually clipping your hair a little bit forward. You want to encourage those roots to stay sitting up. And you can also do the same with hair at the side. Anywhere that you feel maybe you sleep on one side more than the other, that's a side you might want to sort of clip up so that you can maintain that volume instead of flattening those curls down. Make sure you clip them a lot further up. And the same with having sort of layers around the front. These smaller clips work really, really well, and I'll definitely link them below. So my morning routine goes like this. I keep my hair clipped up, have a shower. I wouldn't do my makeup now unless I'm actually doing this, but I keep my hair clipped up in the shower, and then once I'm out, I'll unclip it. And I'll grab a t-shirt, same sort of one as I used before, and I'm going to scrunch out the crunch. I have a whole video on doing scrunch out the crunch, but I really like using a t-shirt because it allows you to really get into the hair, massage. I'm doing this in between inside the t-shirt, so I'm actually grabbing the hair, giving it a slight like little twist, and that helps to break the cast but not create too much frizz. And by not using your hands as well, I find it's just a little bit cleaner and a lot easier for doing your hair. And you can also use your diffuser with a little bit of heat to break the cast, but I'll also just flip my hair over and scrunch up. And the same, flip it over the other side. Make sure I'm getting all the gel that's in those underneath layers. Now at this point, it's probably still looking a little bit crazy, and that is fine, it's totally normal. This is where you give it some time. And you may only have 5 minutes, but that 5 minutes is going to be enough. At this point, it's when you'll go get dressed, have your breakfast, have a coffee, and just let your hair do its thing and do gravity. If you want to, you can actually, at this point, maybe arrange the front as to which way you want it to fall. So for instance, I'm just going to move that over to this side. Maybe that one over as well, so that gravity will work. When I'm moving this, I always try and look at moving whole curls. You can look at breaking them up a bit later. So I'm going to move them around, but we're going to actually just give this time. This is when you get ready, do whatever else you've got to do in the morning, and then we'll come back and see what other products are needed to restyle. So I will actually let my hair settle so we can see how it changes with just about 10 minutes of rest. So I'm back from my little leaving my hair to rest. It's been at least 15 minutes. I went and had another coffee, and this is how it's looking. You can tell it's settled down a lot. I'm not sure how clearly it's coming across on camera. I have a little bit of halo frizz just at the roots here a little bit, but to be honest, it doesn't bother me that much. If it does, I have a few tips that I'm going to share with you now, and it's usually about using product adding moisture so that you can combine that frizz back into your hair. I either like to use a leave-in spray or a cream product depending on how the frizz is looking. If it's a sort of halo frizz, I find a cream product is a little bit better. It's a little bit heavier, it will weigh that frizz back into your hair. But if you've got an oily root, a leave-in spray is probably a better choice because it's not as heavy at the roots of your hair. So obviously I'm going to go for a leave-in. I love the, this is actually a new one from Shea Moisture. Well, it's new here in Australia. It's the Cannabis Sativa hemp seed oil Lush Lengths leave-in. And the thing I like about it partly is the fragrance. I really like a lot of the Shea Moisture leave-ins, but this is one of their lighter ones. I find it's a really good morning refresh one. It's really good if you have finer or lighter curls too, because you could do this in wet hair after, instead of using a leave-in cream. I think that would be a really good option. And yeah, it's just one of my faves. So you can see it's calmed down pretty well. I just like to do a little bit of a spray in my hand and spray through my hair as well. My hair is coloured and very dry, so it will drink up as much conditioner as I give it. It's pretty much like always thirsty. And then I can then capture any of that little frizz that's getting around there. But my ends are really good because of that gel which has stopped them frizzing overnight. So I don't have a lot of frizz here at the ends, which I'm pretty happy about. But then also I do like bigger hair. So I'm going to, if you've got a long comb, that's good, or you can use your hands just to give a bit of a shake at the roots, just to get back that little bit of volume that gravity took away. And that's kind of my go-to morning curls. And while this video, if you're still watching, thank you. I really appreciate you sticking with me. I have a few more extra styling tips for you. But I really want to say that it seems like a long process, but once you get it going, this is a longer, isn't just a medium process at night, but it means that in the morning, in 5-10 minutes, you get out, take your hair down, maybe spray in a little bit of leave-in conditioner, scrunch, or before that, scrunch it with a t-shirt, and like you're good to go. Like I was never able to wash my hair in the morning and wear it curly because it does take so long to dry. But giving myself the evening while I'm watching TV to get that last hair to air dry, diffusing it definitely speeds it up as well. Like I could diffuse and go out, but as soon as I hit outside and it's a bit windy, if there's any dampness in my hair, I will get more frizz. But by being able to dry it overnight, this has been great for early morning Zoom calls and any early morning meetings I have where I really want my curls to look their best. So I hope that this is helping as well. All right, a few more tips for you. So for a few extra tips, I'm going to answer some questions that I received on Instagram that I asked in my stories that you have issues with for overnight curls. So the first one is how to not make them look frizzy. So the first one for me is using the gel, I think is super key, scrunching out with a t-shirt, and then in the morning, silk pillowcase, I think as well. Those three things I think together, because frizz is a two-stage attack, I think. It's humidity, and that's why the gel works to sort of seal the hair so it's not dealing with the humidity and any moisture in the air, that sort of moisture imbalance. And the other one is friction. Friction equals frizz, so sleeping on a silk pillowcase or wearing a silk cap if that's more comfortable for you, huge way to just stop frizz before it forms. I love this question. How to avoid the nest when sleeping on the back? I'm working on that. Ideas are welcome. Well, you saw my hair when I woke up this morning. I definitely get the nest. The trick is using the clips to create a structure that supports so that the nest doesn't collapse. That way maybe you get a bit of frizz on that back section of hair where you're moving your hair around, but it's not actually getting into all of your hair. And I also believe that that gravity step where you just wait for your hair for about 10 minutes lets a lot of that nest sort of drop out and relax down. And then if you've got some real knots, you can use some leave-in conditioner, finger detangle, and coil them again to reshape the curls. But those clips, working in like a clip structure using like maybe 3 or 4 to support your hair up on top is definitely a way to do that. And it just reminds me the next question is, I move around a lot in my sleep. Yes, and also how do you clip so that it's comfortable? Both of these things kind of have the same answer, and what I was talking about with using that clip structure. So clipping up a section at the front and then adding support at the back. I avoid clipping anything on the sides. For me, that's really uncomfortable. If you have short hair or layers, try and clip them as close as you can, I think, to the top so that it's able to stay out of the way. Or just know that if your hair is shorter than that, you can do a quick water refresh in the morning, because your hair will dry a lot faster than long hair, and you're able to just restyle it with a little bit of water and a little bit of conditioner in the morning, mix it together in your hands, run that through, scrunch it up, and then diffuse. And like, that's quicker, that's like 5 minutes. You'll be done, and you won't have to worry about sleeping with a clip in an uncomfortable spot if you've got shorter hair. This is an interesting one. Goes curly at the back and straight at the front overnight. How to make all of your hair curly. Often the hair that's at the front, I know with my hair I have pieces that are very straight here at the front. This hair is subject to the most environmental damage from sun and wind. So think about it, if you're wearing your hair up in a ponytail, it's always these sections that are being stretched the most. So the front of our hair does a lot more work than you think, and that's why it's often a little bit straighter, because it's receiving a little bit more damage. What I would recommend is, while you're having a coffee, just doing that little finger curl, twist them up and just use a little flat clip to clip them in place. Spritz them with a little bit of water as well before you roll them up if your hair doesn't curl, like go back to curling very easily. It will just allow your hair to reset into those curls. Time you have to have a coffee or drive to work if you do, if not just while you're at home, and then take the clips out, scrunch it up, and it will work a lot better. You can even diffuse if you don't have time in the morning. Clip your hair up into those little flat clips and just diffuse a little bit. It will help even out the curls that are going flat at the front. If you've got any more questions about this curl routine or any other curly hair questions, leave them in the comments and I'll come back and answer them. And thank you so much for watching to this far in this very long video. I really hope it's been helpful. I've tried to pack as many tips and answer as many questions as I can, so it's longer than normal, but thank you for sticking with me. Over on hairromance.com you can search all my curly hair posts and hit subscribe here on YouTube so you don't miss my next video. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I hope you have a great hair day and have fun with your hair. Bye. So this is why I rarely film hair wash videos. It's so hard.